Welcome back. It is time for me to have a conversation with Mr. Agri. Agri. Wonderful. So you're getting married, and then by the time you're getting married to this lady who was 7 years
Yes.
younger than you,
Yeah.
and then you got married in December.
Yep.
Then January you lose your job.
Yes.
How did you feel?
I felt like the world was over.
Yeah.
Because there was nowhere and there was no one to turn to. Is when I got married from the honeymoon, going back to job, you were told to go back, to go home. So I had a difficult time. So I had to start hustling because there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So it is a young family, and now we have financial constraints now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. So it was very hectic, I tell you. But thank God we managed that. And now we are here. Yes.
But people were telling you, you should have gotten into somebody who's more mature, who can walk with you. Look, she doesn't mean gear and whatnot. Were they telling you that?
Yeah, people were telling me, how are we going to live now? That I don't have job, the lady is still young, is when we are wedded. But I didn't take heed to that. I kept on moving. The lady that I had married, who is my wife now, was so encouraging. She was telling me, don't worry, things will be good, just keep on trying. And we tried, and eventually God blessed me with a job, and life turned around.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And how was it by the time you were going to her parents to tell them that you want to marry her? How did they receive you?
First, it was not easy, because the father, who was my friend before I even knew the lady, changed his mind. And the mother was a bit, she was not all that tough. So I went to her. There was a time she called me and asked me, you are the guy who now wants to be with my daughter. I told her yes. Then she asked me if she refused. I told her, I'll marry your daughter. Even if you refuse, I'll marry her.
So you stood your ground.
Yeah, I stood my ground because I knew what I wanted. I was determined to marry the lady because I loved her so much. She was still young, and I wanted someone whom I can train to go the way I saw the life for both of us will be. Yeah. But this lady was still tender, young. I could train her, I could do, and we could move and achieve whatever we wanted in life. Yeah.
And then you mentioned that, one of the challenges that actually you faced in marriage is, that whole communication and working together. There's sometimes not so much information is being shared.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's the case?
The case is, it happens when maybe the lady is so inclined towards the family.
Yes.
Now, she's being advised more by the parents than taking advice from you. So it becomes very difficult. So if the lady now disengage or de-associate with the advice, most of it from the parents, and now allow you to be the advisor, now things move easily. But it becomes difficult when it's so intertwined with the parents. Now, so in my case, the lady was because the parents, she was still young, and she needed advice, and she thought that the parents could give her most of the advice.
Yes.
So she was so inclined towards the parents than me.
Yeah.
So it became a very difficult time during that time, because I could sit her down, advise her, tell her we want to do this, but she agrees at that particular time.
Yes.
But tomorrow, things change. Now there's another thing.
Yes.
You asking her what happened. I've changed my mind. But following up, you find that she got the advice from the mother, or from the father. But she kept on growing, little by little, small by small, and now she's a grown lady. She could now make her own independent decision.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And for yourself, do you also share things with her?
Yes, I do share, but initially I never used to, because I thought that when I shared the information with her, she could leak it to the parents. But I never wanted that. I never wanted whatever we shared remains between us. Yeah. But I could find the mother asking, the father asking, so I could ask her, how did they know? So, but as she kept on maturing. You know, now I married a young lady at 19 now. She's maturing, 20, 21, that way. Now, with age, she matured.
Okay.
And now whatever we share, now you cannot find it leaked to the parents. Now
Yes.
it makes me
Yeah.
open and in sharing the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. And thank you so much for just sharing this conversation with me. Thank you so much for allowing us to get to know your personal journey. We appreciate.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been speaking with Mr. Agri, and I'm about to have a conversation with the both of them so that we can get to talk about this, myself and with them as a couple. Stay tuned. We have a segment called Ask Dan, where you, the viewer, get to write to me questions about relationships and marriages, and I get to answer. Today's question comes from my husband, and he writes, "Hi Dan, I love my wife, but she doesn't trust me. Why?" This is a very good question, and I believe coming from a man, really you do love your wife and you really want to make sure that your marriage is okay. So for your wife to trust you, you have to do trustworthy things. So I'm going to ask you one thing. Number one, look back. Is there anything that you've ever done that maybe made her to start to perceive that, you know, you're doing something shady behind the scenes? Interrogate yourself. Number two, have a conversation with her about her past. Maybe there's some things that one of her exes or her ex did that maybe she perceives or she thinks that you're about to do that. So she's accusing you falsely. So if that's the case, affirm her. Number three, maybe perhaps look at, you know, the way you speak to her. Do you water her? Do you nourish her? Have you stopped doing the things that you used to do when you were wooing her and you were pursuing her? If you changed, if you stopped doing those things, then I'll request you to kindly rekindle that and start to do those things once again. Number four, ask her, what is it about me that makes you think you don't trust me? What is it that I'm doing that makes you unsettled? So that now she can tell you, and then you can use that information to be able to assure her of your love. You do these four things and you will be on your way towards building trust in your marriage. Wishing you all the best. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, please feel free to write to us on 22999 or through our social media handle, and I'll be sure to answer. Thank you.